Let's practice the Flash Bone tool. Begin by drawing using the paintbrush tool. I'm going to use the fill color green, and we drew a nice person here. I'm going to use this little tool that looks like a bone and click on the head and drag to the torso area. I'm going to click on this, and now I'm going to stretch it out to the hand. Going to click on the torso to the hand, torso to the hip area, and then click from the hip area to the feet as follows. Okay, so we created the skeleton. I'm going to click on the person's hand, and actually I'm going to click on the selection tool. And with the selection tool, you can see you can kind of move the hand. And now animators sometimes find the bone tool annoying because little glitchy things tend to happen unless you know how to do some workarounds. You can see the shoulders getting glitchy, but we'll just practice for now just to get the gist of the bone tool. So you can see the person can wave, and that's very interesting. And so as I made this bone tool object, I can see this armature layer is created for me automatically. I'm going to move to the timeline and actually drag out the end to frame 50. So this is a green timeline kind of thing going on. Now if I click on the numbers on the timeline, if you are familiar with After Effects, it's called the current time indicator. You can actually move the current time indicator, let's say to 25, and then click on the green armature layer here. This is with the selection tool. Try making the hand go up and see what happens. So you can see if I scrub along the time here, this little red line here, the person's arm is going up, and then we're going to make the person's arm go down on frame 50. So I'm going to move the time indicator to frame 50, click on the green section here, and then make the arm go back down. So if I press Control Enter, you can see the person's arm is moving up and down in a slightly glitchy way, but we're making some progress in understanding how this bone tool works. Okay, so now let's try to animate both the arm and the leg at the same time. I'm going to move the current time indicator. Okay, so I'm going to move the current time indicator from to frame 25, the same kind of keyframe I added for the arm. I'm going to use a selection. We're on frame 25 using the selection tool. Click on the foot. You can see the bones are there. And let's make the feet here on frame 25 move in this way. I'm going to scrub the current time indicator to frame 50. And here we can even click on the foot again and make the foot go here, or even here. Not so bad. So let's press Control Enter and see what happens. You can see the arm and the foot are moving at the same time. Kind of interesting. Okay, so we're animating multiple parts which can be useful for jumping jacks, but now let's try a different kind of, maybe more useful bone tool technique. So it's not working quite perfectly, but we're making some progress. Let me go File New, Action Script 3, and we're going to practice with some shapes. So let me just use a rectangle shape here, and I'll try some techniques with the bone tool. So I'm going to drag out a rectangle here, and if you hold Shift, that might help make things nice and square. I'm going to try converting this to a movie symbol. So using the selection tool, I'm going to right click and make a movie symbol. Convert to symbol. Movie clip is fine. So we made this into a movie clip. We're practicing some more animation techniques here. I'm going to double click into the movie now. Double click. We fly into symbol 1. Now that we're inside the symbol, let me try animating it in an interesting way. I'm going to right click around frame 3. Insert keyframe. And so on the second keyframe, I'm just going to change the color. The opposite of green is red. And then I'll press F5 once, twice. Let me just count this. 1 frame, 2 frames, it's green. 1 frame, 2 frame, 3 frames, too many. I'm going to press Shift F5, which removes a frame. So every 2 frames it changes color, and the movie loops over and over again. Going to click back on scene 1. Press Control Enter to run your program. You can see this is just a movie that so happens to change colors. It's kind of interesting and flashy. So now that we have a movie clip, it could be any movie clip, it could be an animating character or whatever, I'm going to highlight this object, press Control C, copy, edit copy, and then we're going to paste it in place, Control Shift V. I'm going to press shift right arrows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So we created a copy of this box here. We're going to make a choo-choo train or a caterpillar, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to highlight both objects, Control C or edit copy. I'm going to paste it in place again, Control Shift V. Shift right arrows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are all equally spaced apart very nicely. Now how do we connect them? These are movie clips. Let's try using the bone tool on these movie clips. Use the bone tool, click and drag, click and drag, let go, click and drag. So we have bones here connecting these movie clip objects. I'm going to drag out the armature layer here to frame 50. And I can see my current time indicators on frame 50. I'm going to try something. Use the actually let me try moving the current time indicator to frame 25. I'm going to use the selection tool to click on my movie. I can see the bones. I'm going to click on this bone and I'm going to curve it down a bit. And if you wait 5 years, you will see that the diamond will appear representing the keyframe. So we're going to move our current time indicator to the end, frame 50. Click on using the selection tool and move this end up here. So this looks like some kind of a robotic slug or something. And then you click off somewhere, you should see that diamond appear, and when you actually scrub through, I'm clicking and holding my left mouse button, you can see it's doing an interesting animation which could help with some animations. So hopefully you've seen some other animation techniques such as onion skinning, where you can manually keyframe by keyframe draw your own different pictures. And in a future video we'll even talk about using some other programs and their animation abilities, mixing it all up, creating a nice animation in After Effects using the puppet pin tool and importing the movie. And you can all use these various techniques to add to your animation repertoire. I should also mention that the bone tool, if you want to import a picture, even though it has a transparent background, will cause some problems and gets quite glitchy. You may want to try tracing bitmap over that picture, but even then sometimes the bone tool says the image is too complicated, so ultimately you might have to simplify it by drawing it yourself using the paintbrush tool. But that's just a little note you should be aware of.